Hi everyone, welcome to Joleen's Kitchen. I'm Judy.
I'm Joleen.
Good. Okay, we got that much down. Today we're going to be making homemade pizzas. So Joleen has the recipe here. She's been looking through it. Because this takes a while, we actually started 5 minutes ago with our yeast and our warm water. Now the thing with yeast is, a lot of people are afraid of it. Don't be. The thing is, you just have to have your water the right temperature. And it needs to be between 105 and 115 degrees. So I always shoot for 110 because it's in the middle and it works. So for this one, it's 1 packet of yeast, or if you buy it like I do in the big jars, 1 packet is the equivalent of 2 1/4 teaspoons. That's what I wrote down there. And then 1 cup of warm water. And you should use a thermometer if you have one. If not, it's not hot tap water, it's pretty warm tap water. She thought it was really warm, she thought it was hot. I didn't think it was that warm. So you get to kind of guess. Anyway, so while we're waiting for our yeast to activate here, Joleen is going to get started with the rest of the ingredients. Yeah. So you're going to start with what's next? 2 cups
of butter.
Oh, bread flour. Okay, so here's the other thing. Go for it. You can get the 2 cups of flour and I'll talk because it's what I do. The bread flour. You know, I forgot it said bread flour and I forgot to buy the bread flour. The difference between all-purpose flour, here's your 1 cup. Oh, yeah. You need 2 of them. And don't forget to level them up. The difference between all-purpose flour and bread flour is bread flour it's made with higher gluten yeast. So the gluten strands, it will become more elastic. So you can make it with all-purpose flour. It may not rise, it may not be quite as dense as it is if you use bread flour. But like I said, whoops, I forgot to buy the bread flour, so this is what we're using today. And it will still work. Okay, there's 1. Get it in there. You need some more?
Yeah.
Cool. There you go. Other side of the knife, flat side. Otherwise you're hollowing it out. You're shorting yourself on flour. Alrighty, cool. You dump, I'll get rid of it. Okay, what else does it say you need to put in?
2 tablespoons of olive oil.
Ah, okay. I poured the olive oil for Joleen earlier because I buy it in a ½ gallon and it's really hard to pour out just 2 tablespoons. So go ahead and pour that in. Cool, I'll take that. And then what's next?
1 tablespoon of salt.
Nope, read that one again.
1
teaspoon.
Teaspoon.
Difference between a teaspoon and a tablespoon. Do you know what the difference is? There you go. 1 tablespoon is 3 teaspoons. So putting in a tablespoon instead of a teaspoon would give you really, really salty dough. And then what's next?
2 teaspoons
of sugar.
White.
The sugar you can just kind of shake a little. Yeah, that works. The sugar helps the yeast work.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you. All right, so what we want to look at here is, this is supposed to look creamy. So yeah, see when we shake it up, like, or you know, kind of, yeah, shake it up, the thicker stuff starts to come up to the top. That's what you want it to look like. So go ahead and dump it in. And now you got to give it a really good stir, and it's going to get kind of thick. So wait, remember we were talking about holding the spoon this way. So you get, well, probably not that hand. This hand, this way, there you go, because it gives you, and then you around and around and around, and you want to get all the way to the bottom of the bowl and make sure that none of the flour is stuck on the sides or on the bottom. So just keep stirring and stirring and stirring. It just takes a while, and it gets tough because it gets thick. Trust me on holding the spoon this way. Holding it this way won't give you the, I don't know, is that leverage? I don't know, is that the angle
hard.
you need?
It's getting hard.
Okay, then, here, let me borrow it for a second. Take the spoon and do this. Scrape all the way around the bowl. And don't be afraid to use your other hand to move the bowl. See now, like right there, we had a glob of olive oil. We want to make sure that gets mushed out of there, gets all mixed in really well. But yeah, feel free to use your other hand to spin the bowl to help you stir. Perfect. And so you just want to get it so it's not really lumpy anymore. What do you think? Think we're there?
Yeah.
Okay, then let's just take the spoon, scrape the sides really, really well. I'm going to just use my finger here and knock that into here. Smooth it off a little bit. And then I'm going to wash the dough off my finger. And then what we need to do is cover this with a cloth or saran wrap. You can use saran wrap. And then we're going to just put it over here because it's a warm place. So earlier, Joleen and I made this, right? Okay, so you gonna cut it in half? We're gonna make 2 pizzas because we have our cameraman and camera assistant Charles and Roxana here, and since they are vegetarians and we are not, we like pepperoni and they just want cheese. So we're gonna cut it in half and we're gonna make 2 different pizzas.
Make sure you get all the half of the side of the dough.
Yes, you want to get all the half of the side of the dough. Perfect. Do you want to put the other side in too, and then we'll just get rid of that bowl? So this is what the dough looks like. I should have said this before we took it all out of the bowl, but you want the dough to rise until it's about twice the size it was when you put it in the bowl initially.
You can make it thick or thin.
Yep. So now we're just going to pat this stuff out. So you know, this is bread made using yeast. So this rises. That's what when you put the yeast in there and you activate it, it goes into the flour and it makes the flour bubble up. So this is a yeast bread. So remember when we were doing, earlier this summer, we were doing the Moses story, and we talked about the part when, the Exodus, when the Pharaoh kept saying stuff that he would let them go, but then he didn't let them go. Maybe you should rinse off your hands and start again so you don't keep just sticking to it. But that when the Pharaoh finally told them the last time that they could go, that Moses told them told them to make unleavened bread because they didn't have time to make the leavened bread. This is leavened. So we had to let it sit on the counter for half an hour to rise. If you're making actually a loaf of bread, you have to let it rise twice. You think I'd go a little bit thinner because it will puff up in the, besides that, you want bigger pieces of pizza, right? Okay, you're gonna put on the, I just bought some pizza sauce in a bottle because, you know, it's easy. Whoop, I got rid of your spoon, didn't I? There you go. So then you just spread the sauce around. It's up to you how much sauce you put on. You can put on a lot of sauce or a little sauce. Joleen likes less sauce.
Yeah, I don't really like a lot of sauce.
I don't really like a lot of sauce either, so we're even. the one. Do you want a little more on there?
Yeah.
That one's a little bit bigger. And the one thing I would say is push some of that sauce away from the edge a little bit, just because, whoops, I got a little carried away, sorry.
Okay.
Because if the sauce, again, it's if the cheese or the sauce gets on the plate, or on the pan, it's just wasted. So, all right, let me take it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Then
what are you gonna do
add
next?
A cheese.
Cheese. You can cheese them both, and then you like the pepperoni on top, right?
You can either put the pepperoni on the bottom.
Yeah, you can put it underneath the cheese or on top of the cheese. It doesn't matter. If you put it on top of the cheese, it'll get crispy. If you put it underneath, it doesn't. That's pretty much the difference. But pile on the cheese, because that's kind of the whole point of pizza. What do you think? Is it looking good?
Okay. Our next pizza now.
Pile on the cheese. Yeah, you'll be surprised, and you'll see in a couple minutes when we pull out our sample from the oven, it will really cook down a lot. Okay, spin.
Sweet.
You're doing a good job there. Yeah, because part of it, you want to try to keep it as even as possible so that you don't end up with spots that,
Oops.
Oh, wow. Getting down to the bottom, and it's getting a lot finer, isn't it?
Here we go. Now we add a pepperoni.
And you can put on as much as you want. You can make smiley faces. You can just eat the pepperoni because it's delicious.
There you go.
Oh, come on. Squeeze some more on. Okay. I tell her she can do what she wants, and then I tell her how I want her to do it. But more pepperoni is never a bad thing. There you go. That is excellent. Okay. That is ready to go in the oven. And with any luck at all, if we were close on our timing.
We have extra cheese and extra pepperoni. Whoa.
Whoa. Here we have
the cheese.
the ones we put in. Man, I didn't catch you on putting extra pepperoni on that one, man. That could use a little more maybe. Well, too late now. Okay, or not. That works.
It puffed up a lot. Look at my tiny one. Doesn't look that big.
Oh, that's right. Here was Joleen's miniature pizza. It has a tiny piece of pepperoni on it.
And a tiny piece of cheese. And it sounds like a bead.
It sounds like a bead. That might be a good indication of why you should not eat it. Pretty crunchy.
Tastes yummy.
Okay, so these baked for 25 minutes in the oven. And then we're going
Isn't
to
that
pull them
hot?
over. Yeah, it is hot. I have asbestos fingers. And then I'll do this because these things are
hot.
dangerous.
Oh.
So we're going to cut it.
Can I cut a slice?
Very carefully, okay? Hang on to it. Just use one hand. Okay, and lay it down. You have to press pretty hard. There you go. Okay. And then you did it. And then we're going to loosen this one from the pan.
Yeah. The pizza looks yummy now.
It does look yummy now.
Hey, look, the one what I put on settled.
Yeah, they kind of slid off a little bit. Anyway, so that's it. We got pizza for Charles and Roxana.
And pizza for us.
Pizza for the rest of us. Oh, that's not going to fit. That was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll cut ours later. So I guess that's it. That went pretty fast today, didn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. We are not going to be here next week because it's Labor Day. We will be back the week after that, and we will be doing, remember what we're doing?
No.
Cinnamon rolls.
Oh, yeah.
Yay!
Yay.
Cinnamon rolls. We all like cinnamon rolls. And that's it. We will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.